Hello students, in the physics revision of chapter 11, in which we are almost at the end of the chapter. In last session we learned about the pressure. What is the pressure? The force exerted on an object per unit area is known as pressure. So pressure is equal to force divided by area. We also learned that larger the area, lesser the effect of the force. So if the area is bigger on which the force is applied, then the effect of the pressure is less. And area less, then the effect of the force in pressure will be more. And therefore the reason the nail or the objects which are used for cutting or piercing are kept sharp. Also, when a porter load heavy luggage on the head, he take a piece of cloth, make a round and put it on the head before he load the goods on it. So that the effect of the force pressure will be less due to the more area. Now, today we are going to learn that the liquids and gases also exert pressure. The liquids, when the liquids are filled in a container, then how does it exert force? For that to understand that we can take an activity in which we have to take a plastic pipe or a glass tube, say about 25 centimeter length and 5 to 7.5 centimeter diameter, and take a thin rubber sheet, or you can take the rubber balloon also, and tie at the end of the plastic tube by using thread. And then you will see that the rubber sheet is not bulging out. Now, as shown in the figure here, look at in the first one, there is little water is kept inside. When we pour little cap, then you will say that the rubber will bulge out a little. Then if you put more water, then you can see that bulging is also getting bigger and bigger here. It means that how does it happen? It happens because when we put the water, then water exerts pressure on the container, and as the rubber is flexible, we see the bulging. We can't see the bulging in the plastic alone because that is the rigid thing, very hard thing. And therefore we use that rubber balloon so that we can understand the pressure exerted by the water. So as the water column is getting higher and higher, the bulging is getting bigger and bigger because the more and more water is coming on the top, and therefore the pressure is also increasing. So this activity tells us that the liquids also exert pressure. Now, does the liquid exert pressure only on the bottom or other side also? To understand that, we can do another activity in which we have to take a plastic bottle and a small glass tube. On the side of the plastic bottle, make a hole and fix that glass tube. And on the glass tube also put a rubber as shown in the figure here. And then when you fill the water, and then if you fill little water, the balloon will be bulked on the side also. If you add more and more water, then that balloon will be bulging bigger and bigger. It means that liquid exert pressure in all the direction, not only at the bottom but on the walls of the container also. And it is an interesting thing also that when the liquids exert pressure, at the same date it will exert same pressure also. And for that we can have another activity also, in which we have to take a plastic bottle and from the bottom measure the same distance, like 5 or 7 centimeter, at the same distance around, make 3 or 4 holes on it. And then first close the holes with the finger and fill the water in the container, that bottle. Then if you release that fingers from it, then you will see that the water will come out with the force, and it will go at the same distance from all the sides, because the holes are made at the same height, and therefore the water will come out at the same force all the sides. It means that the liquids exert pressure at the same depth, same as shown in this figure. In this figure, if you put holes on the different depth, means one hole at the bottom, one at the little up and little up, then you will see that the downmost hole, from the downmost hole, the water will go very far. Why? Because as you go deeper and deeper, the pressure exerted by water will be highest. And as you go up and up, then the pressure is decreasing. Therefore, if you have the hole on the top, then the water will go only a small distance away. Then if you go down little more distance, and at the bottom you will see that the water will come with more pressure. It means that as you go deeper and deeper and deeper, then the pressure is also increasing. So here you can see that not only the solids, but liquids also exert pressure on the container of the wall. Now, what about gases? Do the gases also exert pressure on the wall or not? For that, you have very, very simple observations, like if you take a balloon and with your mouth you blow it, then the balloon will be inflated. Why the balloon is getting inflated? And why do you have to tie the mouth to prevent the air from escaping? Because air also exerts pressure. So if you don't tie the mouth due to the pressure, the air will rush out of the balloon. And due to the air inside the balloon is staying inflated. If you make a hole in the balloon, then the air will come out. So there is no pressure. So balloon will be flat. Similarly, if you open the mouth also, the balloon will be very, very small again because there is no pressure inside. Similarly, if you see that in the vehicles like a bicycle, in bicycle wheel, inside the tire there is a tube there in which we have to fill air with the pump, and then it is getting inflated, and then it can run easily. So here also the tube is exerting pressure on the walls of the tube, so tube is getting inflated, and then we can easily run that bicycle. But if there is a puncture in your tube, then what happens? Your tube will be flattened, tire will be flattened, and therefore it is not easy to drive that bicycle. So you have to make the puncture right again and then fill the air. Then again your tube will be inflated and it can easily run on the road. It means that gases also exert pressure on the walls of their container. Now, we know that we are staying on the earth around which there is an envelope of air. All around us, up to so many kilometers, there is the layer or the envelope of air is there. And that envelope is known as atmosphere. The envelope of air around us is known as atmosphere. Now, this atmosphere extends up to so many kilometers above. But as you go up and up, the air is getting thinner, and the proportions of the air, the components of the air is also getting lesser. Now, this air is also exerting pressure on us. This atmospheric air also exerts pressure on us, and that pressure exerted by the atmospheric air is known as atmospheric pressure. So that gases all around us also exerting pressure on us, and as I told you, it is known as atmospheric pressure. Now this atmospheric pressure, if you imagine, then it feels nothing, but in fact there is a lots of pressure is exerting on our head also. If you want to understand about the atmospheric pressure, you can take that rubber sucker. Sometimes you use that rubber sucker in the toilet when there is pipes are choked up due to some dust and things inside, then you use that rubber sucker. Then what happens? The rubber sucker takes out all that rubbish which is blocking that pipes, and then when we take out that rubbish, then the water will easily flow in. How does it work? when we press the rubber sucker, you know that rubber sucker is like a rubber cup, and when we press it against the hard surface, then the air inside that rubber sucker will escape out. And then what happens? There is almost a vacuum there. Vacuum means the area without anything, without air, is known as vacuum. And therefore inside the rubber sucker there is no pressure. And therefore the rubber sucker will stuck on the surface because the outside atmospheric pressure will be too much that will not allow the rubber sucker to come out because of that high pressure. And then if little air you can enter, then it will be easily come out. On some of the glass surfaces also you can, like on the teapot and that also, the glass is just kept on that 4 rubber sucker on the corner. We press them, then what happens? The rubber from that plastic sucker, the air escapes, and therefore due to the atmospheric pressure, the glass will remaining stuck. Sometimes you know that small things to play are also coming. If you press it hard on the glass, it's stuck on the glass and it is not easy to take it out because of the atmospheric pressure. Rubber sucker looks like this. And when you put it on it, it gets stuck on the surface. So there is almost a vacuum inside and it can take out the things from the pipe. So now if we imagine a unit area and a very long cylinder standing on it fitted with air, then the force of gravity on the air is the atmospheric pressure. So like this, a pipe, if you imagine that there is a pipe of here air filled with it, then the air that is inside that pipe exerting the force is because of the force of gravity, and that is same as the atmospheric pressure. Now how large or how small atmospheric pressure, that you want to learn. Then if the area on our head is 15 centimeter by 15 centimeter, we know that the almost 15 centimeter into 15 centimeter area is in the contact with the air which is on above our head. It means that on that there is a column of air on that area which is exerting pressure on our head. And that is how much? The force due to air in a column of the height as shown in the figure here. Just you have to imagine that. Then that is exerting a high pressure. How much? If the height of the atmospheric area and 15 by 15 centimeter is nearly equal to the force of gravity on an object of mass 225 kilogram. It means that on our head, if you put 225 kilogram mass object, that much pressure is exerting on our head, and it is 2250 Newton, because the force, unit of the force is Newton. So that is the too much force is exerting on the body. Then my question is, if you take 225 kilogram mass on your head, what will happen? Can you bear that weight? You will collapse. You will get crushed. It means that suppose an elephant is putting his leg on your head, and what will happen? You will get crushed, you will get sandwiched. Then why because of this atmospheric air that is on our head is more than that. How much? As I told you, 225 kilogram. Then why we are not getting crushed? The answer is that because there is air inside our body also, and therefore inside our body also there is atmospheric pressure which is same as the outside atmospheric pressure, and that both will balance each other, and therefore we are not feeling that much force of that atmospheric pressure because they are balanced, they are getting balanced. So imagine what will happen to our body if we put our cells in vacuum. You know that what will happen? If you put our body cell in the vacuum, then all the cell will start bursting. Cell will die. Why? Because outside there is no pressure to balance that force inside the body. And therefore, I hope you have noticed that when the people, the scientists are going in the space, they have to wear special type of suits. They can't go in the normal clothes like we are wearing. They have to wear special suits such that it will exert the same pressure as atmospheric pressure, because there is no pressure there. Otherwise, what will happen? Our body cell will start bursting one by one, and we can, first of all, there no cell will start bleeding because that is the very sensitive cells, and then slowly all the body cell can die, and therefore to maintain that balance they have to wear that special types of suit. Now, to understand, to explain how big is that force, and scientist Otto von Guericke, he in the 17th century invented a pump to extract air out of a vessel. So by using that pump you can take out the air to get vacuum. What did he do? He make two hemispherical hollow metallic plates, and what did he do? He make them together and take out the air, and then he tied horses, 8 horses on both sides to pull that, like shown in the figure here. 8 horses this side, 8 horses this side, but still that metallic hemisphere did not get separated. So that is the how big is the atmospheric pressure. Here we are going to finish today's session and the revision of this chapter also, which will be followed by the question answers. And if any difficulty, write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.